Hi, it's Epiphany, and this is your favorite show, Lust for Life. And I am your new best friend. If you're wondering who I am a health professional as far as physiology and mental health goes. I'm your girl. And I have been studying this for a very long time. And I also have experience as well as my professional background and my science degree in health and physiology, and I also have a degree in psychology and master's level, and of course, life experience. So I'm here for you and here to be able to exchange energy of positivity and optimism because your life is not in shambles regardless of what you think and what you feel right now. So today's topic is about confidence and how it overrules any credentials. Like, my credentials don't mean a damn thing. They don't. Your credentials that you're trying to get don't really mean a damn thing without the proper energy behind it. And if this is a topic that hits home for you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that bell for further notifications and other future therapy and therapeutic type of shows that we have coming for especially you. So we're going to dive right into it. And that is the topic of confidence. I know many people who have lived life. If you've lived life, okay, we're not talking about the little babies out here, little teeny boppers out here who haven't experienced anything. But if you've lived life, you might feel a little discouraged. As the older you get, the more bitter you might become and manifest over time. More pessimistic you might become. And that, to me, is a recipe for disaster, because you need your optimism, you need your faith, you need your hope, and you need to have that positive energy to keep you going, because without it, you won't try anything. You'll just automatically think that it's going to fail, and you're going to miss out on something you truly want, and not just that, you truly deserve, because you're a great person. You're a good person. Just be on this channel, I know you're a good person. Like, well, you don't know me, Epiphany. I do, because people who actually have a conscience, who actually care, won't try to seek out therapy. They just won't, because they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't care. They don't care how they're perceived in the world. They don't care how they maneuver out in the world. They don't care about being an upstanding, upholding citizen. They don't care. So the fact that you're here, you care. So I know you're a good person. So you are deserving of whatever goodies, benefits, credentials, titles, whatever you're striving for, financial success, emotional success, love, relationships, whatever you're striving for, you are deserving for it right here, right now, in this moment, not in the future you, not the you you're trying to work to. Because a lot of people get stuck in this idea that if I work hard enough, I can earn love. Love is not something you're supposed to be earned. You're supposed to be able to have it right now. Because you're a living, breathing vessel, you're supposed to have it right now. Losing those 20 pounds shouldn't be able to qualify you for love. Getting that degree shouldn't have that qualification of love. Getting that promotion at your job shouldn't be a requirement to try to get love. None of those things matter. So we can take a brief breath right here. Deep breath in through the nose, out. Say it with me, none of that shit matters. Because then you think about that, and when you get stuck in those boxes and those labels, you get further away from your self-worth, further away from your self-esteem, further away from your confidence, which is your golden ticket. Remember the movie Willy Wonka? And everybody had to find this golden ticket that's in these little candy bars. All that madness. The golden ticket is not in any candy bar. I know chocolate's my favorite too. I know you're probably like, I don't know, I don't agree with you, Epiphany. I love me some chocolate. I do too, but it's not in there. The golden ticket is in yourself. It's in yourself first and foremost. And I learned this lesson very young in life. I was very fortunate, because a lot of people don't really realize this until they get older. But I learned it at a very young age. And I know people probably looking at me crazy because I'm like talking about how I have all these degrees and I'm a professional. I am. But they don't make me. I love to learn. That's why. That's why I'm always researching. People are like, what do you do for a hobby? I'm on the computer researching. I sound lame, but it's the truth. And I'm not lame. I'm very fun. I just spend most of my time, like 90% of my time, researching. And I love to stimulate my mind. I'm a zodiac of Aquarius. We're very fun-loving, free-spirited people, but we also are very intellectual people. So for me, I just want to know what's out there. And that's a very great asset to have, is to be able to research. Because there's plenty of things that your city, your environment, your family, whatever, is out there, and you don't know because you haven't asked. You have not because you ask not, is what they say. So you have to become a researcher. It's very tedious at times, I'll be honest, like trying to look for something you don't even know where to start to look. But just putting that intention out there that I want to find X, Y, and Z. Just in your mindset, I want to find X, Y, and Z. You know, if you don't believe in prayer or anything like that, you don't have to do that. You can just do it affirmation style, or write it down on a piece of paper. I want to find X, Y, and Z. Whatever you want to find, that kind of gets the ball rolling. And it does. I know you're probably like, how does that get the ball rolling? It's just a matter of focus. Because you went from just accepting defeat to a different type of energy of, I'm not accepting defeat anymore. I'm going to overcome these situations and find whatever it is that I feel that I'm lacking. Because that's an illusion too. You're never lacking anything. You just haven't connected to what's already right there in front of you. Your resources don't even have to be far. You don't have to probably even get in your car. With the information age and internet, you can just Google half the things. Or you might be able to ask your mom, or ask your dad, or your brother, or somebody in the house with you might know. You might never have figured it out because you just didn't open your mouth. I had a situation like that where I was employed, more volunteer-like, with this organization. And I had a background, I still have a background, in theater. And we had to do this little exercise with the children, and I pretty much demonstrated my expertise in theater. And I'm really laid back, so people would not know that about me. Like, people don't know that I have certain hidden talents, because I'm kind of quiet and laid back normally. And I started to perform, because I'm not shy. When I get on stage, I blossom. And the person that was over it, the CEO, was like, I didn't know you can do that. Like, you're so quiet and mild-mannered. I had no idea that you have that lion-esque energy inside of you. And I'm like, yeah, it's there. I just don't feel like bringing it out all the time. It takes a lot of energy to do that. It takes a lot of energy to transform into Jim Carrey, is what I call it. Because Jim Carrey, if you see him back in the 90s, like, that's work. You could work up a sweat and sweat out your weave, as they say, doing some of those techniques and, basically theater exercises and warm-ups, if you really dedicate and commit to the scene. So he felt stupid in a way. I'm just going to put it out there, because he was outsourcing things. He was trying to outsource things that he already had right in front of him. He had his jewels and everything he needed right in the group that he already had. He wasn't fully utilizing that group. And that's what happened. You don't look, you don't see, you don't pay attention. You kind of lose sight of what's already right there. So I want you to open your mouth. You better open up your mouth and ask around and see what you could come up with, because closed mouth really does not get fed. And I know a lot of people might feel shy, and even though I have a theater background, I still get those little butterfly feelings before I get on stage. Very, very normal. But once I get on stage, I'm fine. And some people are like, well, once I get on the stage, I'm still not fine. And if that's you, that's okay too. And I have a couple of tips and tricks to be able to help you come back. That is, once again, everything is practice. It's nothing that you can't overcome. You can always transform and shapeshift into whoever you want to be at any given time. It just comes a matter of will. Do you have the will to do this and exercise this and put this to practice? Or are you just going to sit and think about it? I mean, you can do that. You can sit and think about what you want all day long, but you need to put some type of energy to it. You need to put some fire to it. And all it does is take a little bit of practice, like 5 minutes a day. It doesn't have to take a whole 5-hour session to dramatically see results. You take 5 minutes out your day, you can see things shift for you in the way you want it to shift. So going back to confidence, I know for a fact that it works. I had an aunt that I grew up with back when I was a little girl. I used to watch her. She used to fascinate me. She still does. Still does. And she never really had these credentials that you think that you need to have certain things. Like, she had a really good paying job, and she didn't have a degree. Like, this job required that you had a degree. She didn't have no degree. She had her mouthpiece. She had her confidence. She had her charisma. She had her creativity. That's how she got this good job. And after a while, she just didn't want to work in the job field anymore. And she didn't. When she got out, she was a single mom on top of that, and got out of the 9-to-5 rat race and was able to hold her own. Like, did she have struggles and ups and downs? Most certainly. I'm not going to say it's a cakewalk. But she was able to do things that most people don't think is possible. To be on your own and have to have a kid to take care of and not have a job seems impossible, unfathomable for most people. They can't even comprehend doing something like that. But she did. She did it, and she's doing better than ever. Like, it was a stepping stone, building block, or exercise. She was my first witness to something called a miracle. For me, she was a miracle. And I was so grateful to have her as an example of someone who was so confident that regardless of what someone told them they couldn't have, they got it anyway. Like, she's just magical. Like, everything she touched turned to gold. Like, my aunt, like, when she had put her mind to something, she manifested it. It's just like that. She might not have the money behind it. She might not even have the team or the expertise behind it or the degree. She got it. She got it. So you never discredit your value for any reason, ever. I had another example with my friend's mom in Hawaii. She worked in her community and was very beloved. Like, she used to do a lot of charity work, pass out food to the homeless, etc., etc. Like, she was just really big in community. Whenever they had a hurricane, she was around her car, passing out things, batteries, flashlights, giving out water. Like, she was that person. And being charitable brings you blessings, okay? Just for that alone brings you blessings. But she didn't have a formal degree as well. She didn't have formal education. I'm not even sure if she graduated high school, to be honest. But she went and got a really good paying job one day just because people was recognizing how strong of a leader she was in her community. She had strong leadership and community skills. There was nobody in her neighborhood who did not know who she was. There just wasn't. So she landed a job where she was a little intimidated at first. She was like, well, I don't have a degree. I don't even have far as experience in this field particular. The job actually required you to work with people who were addicted to cigarettes and addiction. She was like an addiction counselor. And people go to school for that. Like, a lot of people I know who had to go get a 4-year degree for that. And she pretty much was just doing that off of her experience of her having an addict mom. She had an addict mom, and it was a lot of people in her family and friends that she knew was strung out. And she was really good with people. They told her that we don't care about your degree. We care about how you can connect with people. Because a person's not going to open up to you if you're not relatable. So to get what they call a Holly, they call the white people Holly, to get like a Holly from the States to come over here and work because they have a degree, but they don't know the culture, they don't know the struggles of the people, they can't relate whatsoever, it's not going to be that big of an impact to the people that's actually involved in the community, the people that matter, that they're trying to help. But to see somebody of their own race, kind, neighborhood, struggles, to see somebody like that who actually has a heart, who has the compassion, who really cares about the situation, that person would unfold and blossom tenfold. Now, isn't guaranteed the person would be cured from addiction? Not necessarily, but it's a better step than a person who's dealing with a counselor who can't relate. And that's the key. So she got this job just because she can work well with people. You have to open up your mind. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. I'm just like, I'm trying to explain to you that whatever you're working so hard for, it's not necessary. If you want to go to school, fine, do that. I'm not discouraging people to go to school. Like I go to school. Like I love school. Like I still have a pursuit of PhD that I'm thinking about getting, and I might actually go back and get it. So for those people who feel like education is where it's at, go ahead and knock your heart out. But don't think that's what it takes. That's not what it takes. It takes you being committed to your desires, being confident in yourself, knowing your values, knowing your self-worth, and talking to people. Simply talking to people. So your education is fine. You can get training on whatever your expertise is, but it's you ultimately that's going to take you to that next step, that next level. And speaking of school, I promised people who will tune in today on this channel that I would give $4,000 to people who are in the Las Vegas area. And I keep my promises and swear that I just didn't say that just to get you here. I'm basically going to refer you to a company that I found out, because once again, I'm a researcher. That's why I said you always need to research. You research, it doesn't matter if you're broke. It don't matter if you got 2 cents in your pocket or you don't even have that. You got lint. If you just have lint in your pocket, it's an excuse to not get what you want. Money doesn't matter when it comes to your dreams. It's your ambition, your fire within is what's going to get you to your dreams. So if you want to go to school and you're in the Las Vegas area and you're thinking about going to the community college here, if you're thinking about going and enrolling into CSN, the community college that I heard is excellent. I know people who actually attended, and they said it's like a family community because it's small. Community college is not intimidating like universities. You can start baby steps. Once again, it's all baby steps. If you want to go to that school and you feel like you don't have the finances completely to go, I know of a program here in Las Vegas that will help you get $4,000 or even more. It depends on you. It's called an IDA program. And IDA is just abbreviated acronym, stands for individual accounts. So they have these programs all over the country, and it's sad that most people don't know about this. Like, this is the inside scoop. So even if you're not in the Las Vegas area, you can look up IDA programs and see what's near you in your city, in your town. So the one that's here is actually constructed in Las Vegas, and the name of the company is the Financial Guidance Center. So I don't know if you've been in the Vegas area and you've seen this building, you don't know what it was. It's your ticket. It's probably somebody lived right around the corner who drive by it every day, who had no idea that these people did this type of service for students or people who want to become a student. So you enroll in this program, and there are some requirements. They do require you that you have a job already and that you save money, but it's a matching program. So if they save $1 to 8, not $1 to 2, like this has to be the best IDA program I've ever came across, because other programs in the country I've never heard a match to 1 to 8. You know what that means, a 1 to 8, not just so whatever you save, they are matching it 8 times over. So this is like a no-brainer to enter. No brainer whatsoever. So there will be no excuse that I don't have any money to go to school. There's your money right there. And that's why I'm saying you have to research and open your mouth. The best way to find out things is to look for them and talk to people. I went to Argentina one time with $400. I know most people are like, you're lying, you're BS. Like you can't even get to take it one way to Argentina unless you're already in South America. No, I wasn't already in South America. I was in good US of A, and I was able to get to Argentina, Buenos Aires, for $400. All I did was pay for my passport, which was $200 at that time, and I had $200 to shop or buy trinkets. That's it. That's all I did. And I found out about a program that was helping people who wanted to go and basically learn Spanish abroad. But I wouldn't have known about that if I didn't open my eyes and ears and look and ask. Like if you're already in school, I know 90% of the students do not go into the administration office unless there's a bill that pops up. If you one of those people, raise your hand. Guilty. That you only go into the administration office if there's a bill situation. Like if a bill unexpected bids for books or whatever, you didn't get your stipend or something happened, it's the only time you go. That's not the only time you should go into the administration office. You should go any chance you get, because they always having programs for students that they don't really announce well. It's sad but true. They don't really announce well. They don't announce it in a way that students will adhere to. For example, most millennials and Generation Zs, they're addicted to their phones. So if it's not in a meme on IG, on Instagram, or Facebook, or if it's not sent through a text, they're not going to check it. They really need to update their system on how they communicate to their students. So actually, I'll put the blame on administration at this time. But, it goes two ways. If you want to be able to get resources, you have to get outside your comfort zone. If your comfort zone is only your cell phone, that's kind of sad. Your cell phone can only get you so far in life. Your cell phone can get you only so far in life. So I guess it's a two-way street. I blame administration for not adapting to the times, and I blame the millennials and the Generation Zs for not being more open to other means of communication through text. They don't even want to text. You have to talk to people. If you go into your administration and ask them about programs they have, they will tell you. Or look on their bulletin board. All schools have a bulletin board. Do students really stop and read that? Probably not. But it's just that simple of opening your eyes. And if you're older, you can talk to your city council people. How many of you ever actually sat in a city council meeting? Silence, crickets. I know those people. Do you know who your city council people are? That's another question. Do you know who these people are? And I know people well, I'm not political, blah, blah, blah. You don't have to be political. You don't even have to vote for them if you don't want to. Don't tell them I told you this, but if you don't want to. Oh gosh, that was terrible. But it's true. No one's forcing you to do anything. No one's forcing you to do anything. If you don't want to vote, partake in a political campaign, you don't have to go out there and get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and start going door to door if you don't want to. Because I know people think it get turned off when it comes to politics, because they're they're going to try to recruit me to do all this extra. You could simply recline, and you could still ask them a question. They might still give you an answer. I know they're more likely to give you an answer if you're working for them and helping them out. But sometimes you never know. You might be meeting somebody on a good day. Maybe they had some good sex that night. You know how you get some good whatever, good loving, and you feeling on top of the world. You might catch that person at the right moment, and they might leak some information out to you. You never know. You have to open up your mind in order to receive. So I promised I would go over techniques about how to combat these nervousness and lack of self-esteem and timidness and basically shyness. You have to start doing little exercises to build your self-esteem. So this is exercise I tried myself, okay? I didn't like how my experience was going with social media when I first got on it. And I was forced to get on social media. That's another story. As Aquarius, we love research, but we're not social media people. That's Geminis. Geminis love social media. So as I'm on there, I'm I don't know. I had things I wanted to say, but I was scared to say them because they were totally out the box, controversial. And I had certain people that I knew I had befriended that might get ruffled by what I had to say. But it was my truth and it was my story, which made it valid. I'm going to repeat that again. If it's your story and if it's your truth, that makes it valid. End of story. You have the right to voice your truth, speak your truth. So I was inspired by this Facebook person. I swear I love her to this day. I never even met this woman. I don't even know her in real life. She lives in New York somewhere. I worked in New York, Albany, New York for a hot second, so it wasn't anybody I ever really met. But she was just so outspoken and unfiltered, and I just like drooled and and sweated and almost had an orgasm off of her posts. Like, her posts were just so stimulating and perfect to me. Like, she was saying things I wanted to say, but I was afraid, and I was thinking about who's gonna like it, who's not. Boo. So I watched that woman. So that's trick number one. That's tip number one, is watch people that you admire. Tip number one, study them. See how they move, how they operate, how they do it. Just start getting into their energy, because everything is energy. Start getting into the energy. Help it expand your energy. Two, I created another Facebook page outside my personal Facebook page. It was pretty much a temporary page that I used to just say whatever I wanted to say. Like, I don't care how offensive it sound, how politically incorrect it might have sound. I let myself roar. I let the lioness inside of me roar and say whatever it wanted to say. If I wanted to write F you in all cases and that's it, that would be my post. I did that. If I wanted that to be my post, I would do that. Whatever it is that I wanted to post, say, do, I did that. I did that for like 30 days, 1 month. And it worked. It helped me overcome the shyness. And I called the page Unapologetic. You can't find it now, but it's called Unapologetic. And it was nice. I used to post pictures of me and all type of stuff I would never do on my other page. But it helped me get the courage I needed to my personal page. I transferred that energy. Once I deleted that page, it just didn't die. That energy had got built. I had created a new baby, so to speak. So I could carry that baby with me to wherever I wanted to go. That's how it works. So that's tip number 2. So my last tip is to really test yourself for real in real life. Get out from behind your laptops and your cell phones and go introduce yourself to 3 people a day. Just go out in the world and introduce yourself to 3 strangers a day. I had this exercise in one of my business work training conferences I went to so many. And I was like, okay, bet. Like, that's easy for me. It was like, I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this. But I failed. It wasn't like we was getting graded, but I didn't do it exactly right. I didn't do it. I thought that was an easy task. But the reason my instructor told me I didn't do it right, my business coach, is because I went up to 3 men. Men was always my specialty. I know how they move. I know how they think. They're simple. They're not complex like women. Come on now. We all know women. We all know us. We can be complicated. I kind of cheated. You know what I mean? I took a little shortcut. I went up to 3 men. And men are so easy for me. I just know them. I just know them. So she came up to me. She was like, and she looked me up and down. She kind of knew. She knew that was easy for me. She was like, yeah, but it would have been better if you would have went up to 3 women. I was like, dang. I was like, she's right. I thought about it to myself, like, she is so right. Like, I did cheat. I didn't even think about it at the time. It was like an innocent cheat. It wasn't their methodical type of planned out cheating. That was my comfort zone. The point is to get you out of your comfort zone. So some people, if you're more comfortable talking to women than men, once again, you need to talk to men, and that's the vice versa for you. And if you're not ready for it, just do a little bit of a stepping stone. So for me, men were easy. So what I should have did was talk to 2 men and 1 woman. You see how that goes? At least I would have at least 1 woman that was out of my comfort zone to approach and therefore do that in that way. So for you, if you're not comfortable with men, talk to at least 1 man and 2 females. Strangers. I mean, complete strangers that you don't have, never seen, and you just have a conversation with them. And I know people are like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to talk about? Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to give you a quick tip about that. With this society, people are just so stressed out. So stressed out. I want to say the mental illness cases have risen about 30% in the last 5 years. It was not that bad 5 years ago. I mean, we always had mental illness, but this last 5 years, the world has turned upside down and inside out and roundabout again. So, with 30% increase of mental illness problems that we're facing, people are really afraid, stressed, angry, and halfway on edge. So, an easy thing you could do is smile. It is worth more than gold right now. And this was before the 5-year transit that we just had, that I used to get away with murder just because I smiled. I swear it is the best. It is the best tool that you have in your possession. To this day, I've had people slightly stalk me because I smile. I went to Trader Joe's or something this year, and I was smiling as I was driving to Trader Joe's, and I smiled when I got out the car. Not smiling at anybody because I was in the car by myself. And this older man witnessed me, kind of stalkery, but he witnessed me driving, smiling, walking, smiling, and he knows I was by myself. He was like, oh my gosh, she's smiling for no reason. Who does that? People don't do that anymore. And he approached me, he was like, oh, it's Smiley. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Hi, I'm Smiley. He was like, keep that smile going, girl. I was like, okay. But it was truly a treasure because most people walk around like this. Most people are so on edge that they have this evil eye that they're giving everybody. And that can be felt. You can feel an evil eye on you. And especially if you don't deserve the evil eye, it's going to make you want to give the evil eye back. It's such a hazardous situation. So with that being said, if you don't know what to say, smile. And one of my tricks that I love to do is when I'm in like a public place and I see a whole bunch of mean, stressed out people, I crack a joke. And people are like, well, I ain't funny. I don't know how to do that. You could easily crack a joke. You could just talk about their coworkers or the other clients is in the building. They'll appreciate that. Trust me. I went to a McDonald's or something way back in the day. And no, I don't go to McDonald's anymore. It was a long time ago. And they are always stressed because that's a sucky job. And I looked at the sister that was working there, and I pretty much said that, like, I think the customer before me just couldn't make up their mind. It was causing frustration and impatience with the actual cashier. So when I came up to the cashier, I just basically acknowledged her pain. That is key number 4, acknowledge their pain. People want you to empathize with them. Empathy can get you a long way. So I said to her, I was like, wow, people really can't make up their minds nowadays, can they, huh? And she started laughing. She's like, girl, no. Oh, my God. See, it was slightly a joke, but not really. I guess it made her laugh. It wasn't like, the Laugh Factory quality. I'm not about to say I'm about to quit my day job and become a comic. But no time soon I'm about to become a comedian. But it did the trick. She smiled. The energy just went better. Especially with somebody serving your food. You don't want nobody mad serving your food. That's not what you want. So you want to have that person be relaxed. Acknowledge their pain. If you see them with a frown, be powerful and turn that frown into a smile. You could do that. Don't just avoid them like, ooh, that person mad. No, all they need is they only mad because nobody cares about them being mad. They're just waiting for that one person to come up to them and acknowledge that they're mad. They just want some love. That's all we all want is some love. So once again, this is Epiphany, and I enjoy you guys. I wish you a great holiday season that's peaceful. And much love to you. Remember, you can hit me up on Lust for Life, LV, consultant.com is my email. Lust, the number 4 for life, LV, consultant.com. Instagram, Lust for Life, LV. Facebook, Lust for Life, LV. I'm accessible. Come to me. Come to me. We can talk it and work it out. we can work through things. You can manifest some things and stop making excuses of why you don't have things. And I'm here every Thursday. So if you want to listen and share, like, tell people to come out. And I will see you next time.